The key to get you out of your victimhood is in your own pocket. The things that are holding us back are not things outside of us, they're things that are inside of ourselves. They're our mindset. So many times we get stuck on our story of the past. We get stuck on our perception of what's considered success. We get this concept that maybe God has favorites and I'm not one of them. Yeshua, for example, he merited to be the leader of the Jewish people after Moshe Rabbeinu. And the rabbis tell us that once he became the leader, the great elders of the generation who didn't become the next leader, they might have been greater than Yeshua, but it says that Oy la le'ota busha, oy la le'ota chlima. Woe is to that embarrassment, woe is to that shame. What, that they weren't appointed? No. Woe is to the fact that Yeshua was willing to clean up the Bet Midrash, to set up the benches, to make sure that everybody was comfortable. Something that other people felt was like, this is below my standard, I'm an elder. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. I don't deserve to be a janitor of the shul. The elders realized that the reason why I didn't become great was not because there was something outside of me or something I couldn't do. It was something that was in my hands. It was my story, my lie to myself, that me being a janitor in shul is embarrassing me, it's below my dignity. There's nothing below your dignity to clean up the shul, to help other people. And they said, woe is to that embarrassment that I lost my chance to be great like Yeshua. So many people are stuck in the why me mindset. Why do I have to go through this? And they believe that they have some type of curse, that God has favorites and I'm not one of them. We know that Pinchas was born, the only one of his family to not be a Kohen. Imagine knowing all that your brothers are Kohanim and you're not. And he could have said, you know what, I give up on this. I'll just be a regular guy. I'll just do other things. I'll go out to work. No. Pinchas didn't let this hurt him, didn't let him feel that God was against him. Instead, he turned it around one day when he was the only Kohen who was able to do the act of killing Zimri and Cosbi. It says about Noach that when Noach was born, he was born with a Brit Milah. The people of the generation of the curse since Adam and Rishon, they were waiting for this child to be born. They knew through the handed down through generations that once it will be a child that's born with a Brit Milah, then the curse of Adam will stop. And when Noach was born with that. But you know what? Noach was not only born with a Brit Milah, he was also born with something else that was weird at the time. He was the first freak of nature. In those days, everybody had, because of the curse of the land, they had cupped hands like Playmobil and Lego hands, that they didn't have separate fingers. Noach was the first one to be born with fingers. So everybody else was able to, fix the ground, pick up the dirt, be able to make themselves work the land in order to overcome the curse of Adam. And here there's somebody like Noach who doesn't have these great natural talents and abilities like other people do. He has fingers. And when Noach was born with fingers, instead of him taking it and saying, why was I born so weird? Everybody's laughing at me in class. Instead he said, you know what, maybe I could figure out a solution to make life easier for me and maybe the rest of the people that also might have fingers one day. And he made the first plow, he made the first machines to work the land. Do you see this mindset? The mindset of overcoming the why me? Dan had only one child. He had Chushim. And Binyamin had 10 children. And when in this week's parasha, when it counts the different tribes of how much was left at the time of Parashat Pinchas, it ends up that Dan has second to most out of all the tribes. Even though that Dan, when he had a child, it was only his only son who was deaf, he might have said, hey, why am I having to go through this? Why do I only have one child? Binyamin has 10. But look how it all turns out in the end, that Dan has more children even than Binyamin. The secret, the key to get out of victimhood is mindset. And that mindset is sometimes to learn how to manage your embarrassment, not to take things personal. And if the elders would have been willing to be embarrassed and would be willing, maybe would have had a few more Yoshua Binuns. And this is teaching us that sometimes all we have to learn about is how to manage our emotions, how to manage and build ourselves up again, to overcome our own khorban. Don't let you be the one who's causing your own khorban. Have a great day.